Y'all, I have some bad news for you.
There's a troll in the dungeon.
Do you ever wonder why shit is just so fucked up? Are you feeling totally fucking overwhelmed and not quite sure how to help? I have to tell you about this thing. It's called corporate personhood. You've probably heard of Citizens United, a Supreme Court decision that basically made things really, really bad in terms of the amount of big money flowing into politics and campaigns. And at this point, we know money in politics is bad. But there's actually way more. Have you heard of corporate personhood? It's this wild sci-fi dystopian thing where the Supreme Court, who, mind you, is unelected and completely unaccountable, has given constitutional rights to corporations. Not like the people who work there or the shareholders themselves or the owners themselves, but like McDonald's as a person, as one person. Which we'll get into why that's really problematic, but isn't that just so offensive? Like, I worked hard to be this old. Like, my mom worked hard to get me here. And I'm a person, which means I experience emotions and tragedies, and I have to like work and pay the bills and feed myself and be kind to other human beings. Whereas a corporation, really, its only job is to generate profit. That's a real douchebag of a person. So what that means is corporations like, remember Hobby Lobby, has constitutional right to freedom of religion. So that means that now, because this entity, this legal fiction that is Hobby Lobby, the company, has a right to deny their employees reproductive health care because Hobby Lobby is somehow religious? So this whole thing started in 1886 when the Supreme Court was ruling on a case here in California called Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad. And ever since then, it's only gotten worse. The Supreme Court, in many manifestations, has given more and more rights to corporations and extended the reach of what it means to be a corporate person. To lay it out very clearly, corporations had rights that were respected by the government before women and Black people. So this little thing about corporations having constitutional rights like people allows the influence of big money to be even more amplified. And it also means that communities don't have sovereignty and that people don't have a whole lot of say in the way that corporations work in society. And corporations are one of the biggest stakeholders and power holders in this entire game. I think at this point we all know that. So here's the thing. No matter how you feel about corporations, a corporation is just a tool. It's neither good nor bad, but when it's given the rights of a natural person, there's a lot less say that actual human beings have about how they can operate and how they have to serve the public good. There are so many consequences to this. So this is pretty fundamental. It's a giant brick wall in the way of anything that we want to try to do in terms of social progress or, having autonomy in our communities or deciding how poisonous our drinking water is or if they're going to come in and do fracking around your home. So what do we do about this problem? It's huge. We start with the Constitution. It's the only thing the Supreme Court can't really touch. If we try to legislate this problem away, all they're going to do is reverse it because giving corporations personhood is in their best interest. So we work to pass the 28th Amendment to the Constitution. Pretty badass, huh? The 28th Amendment, the We the People Amendment, says that corporations and other artificial entities are not people with inalienable constitutional rights and that money is not free speech. These two doctrines work hand in hand to undermine our democracy on a daily basis, on a local level and a federal level, and inevitably on a global level too. I just don't see a way to have a functioning democracy when corporations completely control the government. So get on board with the movement to pass the 28th Amendment. We've been working for 10 years. We have 19 states who've made the call. We've passed resolutions and initiatives all over the country. We have the We the People Amendment in Congress with 66 co-sponsors in the House of Representatives, and we're being introduced in the Senate this year. We need to build political muscle to hold these folks accountable. Visit movetoamend.org and see how you can get involved. It's now or never.